my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Tatum drives down and throws it down. Wow!
The throw, rainbows it down the right side for Kyle Pitts. He's got it. He's there. Touchdown. Oh my!
Oh my indeed. Welcome back everyone to the Sports Bits podcast with Moko, here to talk about all things Florida Gators football and Boston Celtics. Please follow me on Twitter at the Sports Bits Pod to get updates on when I upload it and on live takes and reactions of the games being played that day. If you're listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, please subscribe and also leave a 5-star review if you're on Apple Podcasts, because that would be much appreciated, and give us good reviews. And same with the YouTube channel. Actually, like and comment. If you have any future ideas that you would want on this podcast, comment on the YouTube and also subscribe to that. And it's funny enough that I didn't really I was recording this thing. I forgot to put up the show notes. But we have a lot to talk about today. We have the trade deadline to talk about.
And you write notes for this, right?
I do write notes for this.
Completely forgot to put those up.
Again, this is the first time. Look at this. This is the first time we were doing this together. Mm-hmm. We got COVID tested, so we're all safe and chill. I'm negative. I'm pretty sure you're negative, right?
I got tested negative last week, and I took a test yesterday, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
All right, which means we're good, because I've never tested positive in my life, and I don't think you have either.
Never.
So yeah, we're chilling. Well, let's get right into this thing. Let's go in the trade deadline real quick. I'm gonna have to lean forward a lot just because I have to read this thing. You know what? This is on Google on Google Drive. I can put this up on my phone. This will be way easier to read than that.
Yeah, bring it up on your phone.
And then I can also put this on GarageBand. But yeah, bootleg show. This is going to be way more fun than the Zoom one. I'm not going to lie, because we're in person.
I'm telling you, the Zoom version is the bootleg one. This is more real.
This is the real. This is what we wanted to do this whole time. But with COVID, it really did kill all our dreams on doing that thing.
Seriously, with everything.
But yeah, I think the first thing we can talk about right now that I wouldn't have to pull it up. Let's talk about the trade deadline and the trades that the Celtics made. With Evan Fournier and also with, I think it's Luke Cornett and Mo Wagner. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's first talk about the Evan Fournier trade. So that Evan Fournier trade was, the Magic traded Evan Fournier, and we gave the Magic Jeff Teague and 2 second-round picks. So off of that, just first impressions, what did you thought of that? First impressions of the trade?
I liked it. Evan Fournier, he's a solid guard. Obviously he didn't have a great game his first game, but he's definitely a solid player. And I think Jeff Teague was waived by the Magic actually, as soon as he got there.
Funny enough, he got signed by the Bucks.
Really? Wait, he got signed by the Bucks?
I think I'm gonna check that right now on Twitter.
I didn't know if I knew. Yeah, I was checking the transactions today, and I saw that he got waived as soon as he got there from the Magic, but I didn't know if he got picked up by the Bucks.
I'm gonna keep checking. You can keep talking about him, but I'm gonna check.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about him other than he went 0 for 10 in his first game.
But we'll get to later, because I have a lot to say, because we played the Bucks in a doubleheader, which is a lot to talk about. But yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm not worried. I don't think that's going to be a consistent thing, obviously. He was averaging 19.7 points per game on the Magic. So obviously he's a good scorer. I don't think he's going to score as much on the Celtics now because you have more scoring options, but I think he can definitely be a good facilitator. And he also played 33 minutes. So obviously he's going to be a big part of the rotation.
Yeah, that's actually funny enough. I read a comment on the Twitter. Brad Stevens said he wanted not Jeff Teague, but Evan Fournier to be the 6-man type, take a 20-minute plus role, which means it's gonna hurt some of the younger guys like Pritchard or Neesmith.
Right.
But I think he's proven himself on the Orlando Magic, which means he probably will do pretty well on here. Hopefully.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying too, because I feel like he's going to be able to... he can fit in with, a lot of different systems. You know what I mean? He does a lot of different things really well.
Mainly a shooter, though.
Mostly a shooter, which, you guys could use more of. You don't need more offense.
To make up for Kemba's shooting. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. On paper, you should have enough offense. But no, he's definitely a good shooter. He's going to come in. I think he's going to bring a lot of good things to the table.
Yeah, so I just checked on Twitter. Woj did say Teague reunites with Budenholzer, which means he is officially
now
with
on the Bucks.
The Bucks. So
wow.
I'm just gonna say real quick, I like Teague, and every time he's played for the Celtics, he's performed really well. And I think the Bucks got a really good point guard on the bench to pair with whoever they're gonna play a point guard on the. Actually, it's funny enough, Drew Holiday. I forgot his name. Drew Holiday.
He's probably playing with Drew Holiday.
Yeah, he's probably going to be playing with Drew Holiday and, with that guard tandem, and I think that'll be really good for them if they decide to put him up there, because I think Connaughton's mainly taking the 2's minutes, the shooting guard minutes. But yeah, Jeff Teague, I think he'll do great on the Bucks. The next trade, which is I have a lot to talk about. Mo Wagner and Luke Cornett. The Celtics received Mo Wagner and Luke Cornett, and the Bulls received Daniel Tice, Javonte Green, and $1.3 million of the trade exception from Gordon Hayward signing, whatever that was. The trade exception from Gordon Hayward.
Right. Whatever word they used to describe that.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, like this. I want to hear your opinion first because Luke Cornett and Mo Wagner. I remember we were texting about this, and I was like, "What the hell is this?
Yeah, you were like,
why are we
what
getting
is
these two
going on?"
bum ass centers?" And I was like, "No." And then I had to do some research. I was like, "Oh, they're not that bad." And Luke Cornett has been popping off recently.
So I was just about to talk about him specifically. He's played 2 games so far, 13 minutes in both, and he's had a pretty productive 2 games. In the game yesterday, he had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and a block in only 13 minutes. He shot over 50%, 50% from 3. So I think he's going to be a really good piece if he can keep those numbers up, obviously.
Yeah, but that's also another thing. He's shooting 50% from 3. That's what Tice. He shot I think it was like 50% with 2 attempts per game.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah,
but I mean, definitely to get that 5 spot with the ability to stretch the floor, I think you guys definitely needed that. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, I wrote in my notes here, like, new Tice. Like, is he going to be the new Tice?
See, that's what I was saying earlier.
Seriously, no, because, I mean, he's big. He's bigger than Tice. I think Tice is like 6'8". Luke Cornett's like 7'2". 7'2",
yes,
he's a big guy. So I think he's also going to bring a lot of good things on the defensive side. Hopefully, I don't know how good of a defender he is. I don't think he's that great. But hopefully he can be a more serviceable defender than Tice.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And looking at Mo Wagner's most recent performances, because we do have that hindsight now. Because if we were making this on the day of the trade, I'd be livid compared to what I am now because I'm actually putting in hope that Luke Cornett can fit in our system well. And what is it? Mo Wagner actually has not played good recently. Surprisingly, he's only scored like 2 to 5 points, and he's like getting boards where he can, but like he's also not getting that many minutes.
Here. There he is.
He's also 2 years younger than Luke Cornett, so I guess he needs more time to adjust and also like figure out his place in the system. And also, not to mention, he's fighting for minutes with Tristan Thompson, Robert Williams, and Luke Cornett. So there's 3 other big dudes ahead of him, I would say.
Yeah, well, also now that like since Robert Williams has now taken like pretty much the start, he is the starting center now, and he's also the defensive anchor of the team at this point.
He's having like 4 blocks in the past. Wait, I can check fantasy because that has
ridiculous.
Like the one thing crazy about our fantasy league is that there's like the last 7 days, last 14 days, like averages, and you're able to check that compared to like just season averages, like you would see on NBA.com. I know you have Robert Williams.
I do, and he has been popping off. Mans has gotten like 4. How many? I want to know.
He's
exactly.
averaging 2.5 blocks per game in the last 7 games. 1 steal, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. For last 14 days, he's averaged 9 rebounds and 2.6 blocks. That's crazy.
I think he's in this starting role now, and I think he's only going to get better from here. Okay, now he's the defensive anchor of this team. All right, Marcus Smart has been back for a little bit, but now you have that big guy in the paint on, like, a solid defender.
Big is very relative because he's like 6'8", but we're gonna go with it because he's playing really well.
Exactly, and he also he plays big. Like he plays bigger than his size, if that makes sense.
Like Tristan Thompson, for example, like he's the better version of Tristan Thompson, I would say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, on the Bulls side of this, real quick, they got a really good center with Daniel Tice and Javonte Green. If you've been watching him this season, he's been really good shooting the 3, playing really good at the 3 spot as small forward. So yeah, I think he's going to be all right and a good young player for the Bulls to also develop along with Zach LaVine. And they got I don't even know how many young players they have anymore just because they traded away they traded away Wendell Carter, they traded away Daniel Gafford, they traded away all these young guys.
You're talking about the Bulls?
Yeah.
Yeah, they also traded Otto Porter Jr. I know he's not young, but I know they got rid of him as well.
They got rid of a lot of players and they got Vucevic.
Yeah, they got Vucevic, which I think is going to be like really weird just to see because like he plays. To me, it's like a different game than how like the Bulls, their system has been this season.
What I describe Vucevic as is a discount joker because he can pass, he play a good pick and roll, he's a good offensive player. Defensive,
I mean, that's the problem with a lot of these big guys that are like really solid on the offensive end is that it translates. Like obviously there have been players who have, two-way players who have been fantastic. Yeah. But a lot of the times now we're seeing these big guys who are really solid on the offensive end and they're really solid with glass cleaning, but they can't actually defend like in the paint or especially on the perimeter.
Yeah, you have like a Capella type, then you have a, Vucevic type. Good defender versus a good offensive player. Both can rebound pretty well, but, it's just picking your poison. Like, what do you want to prioritize on your team?
Exactly. And I think the Bulls are now, on the offensive. They're on the offensive grind now, because we also know that Zach LaVine is kind of a liability on defense as well. But,
so you might as well just go all in on the offense.
Exactly. They're gonna be like dollar store Nets this season. All offense, no defense.
Yes, dollar store Eastern Conference Nets. So actually, I want to give like a rating. Like, what do you rate the like A through F? What do you rate these like trades overall? Coming from someone who's not fully a Celtics fan, like, what is your outside point of view?
It's like rating the Celtics, how
like
they came out of this.
Their whole trade deadline moves as a whole.
I mean, it's tough
minus
because
the 2020 hindsight, because we've seen how bad Evan Fournier is playing. We're assuming this is peak, like how they're.
I don't think Evan Fournier is going to continue. I mean, he had one bad game. I don't think that's going to be consistent. But I don't know. It's tough. I want to give them. I'll give like a B-, I guess, because I like Evan Fournier coming in. He's gonna be good. Mo Wagner, I am skeptical about, because his numbers are not great. And then Luke Cornett, I'm also a little bit skeptical about. However, I think he's going to be a more solid option than Mo Wagner, because he's bigger. He can shoot a little bit better. So I like those pickups. However, the reason why I'm bringing the grade down so much is because you got rid of Tice. And I like Tice. All right, watching him play, I really like him, and I know you like. James likes him. I know James isn't here, but we all like Tice. So it is honestly, it's kind of sad to see him go as well.
Yeah, I know.
For me, at least, not being a Celtics fan.
I mean, it is sad for me too. I know, and like you would probably love a Tice right now for a center.
Oh yeah,
for a center on the Jazz.
Yeah, someone who can shoot. Yes. Oh my God, that would be great. I would love that.
Like I actually, funny enough, just because I'm biased, I'm gonna rate this a B. Like right a little bit above, because I think Evan Fournier could be that solid 6-man, like a Lou Williams type for the Celtics, and also we have. Luke Cornett's a solid backup center. Mo Wagner, if he develops, good backup, big man, whatever we need him for.
Yeah.
We still got Neesmith, who's developing really well. Pritchard's developing. Rob Williams is a starting center now.
Exactly. And he's only going to get better from where he's at now.
So, I mean, that's okay. The trades alone, okay. I'm going to talk about the team as a whole, but the trades alone, B. Because I like Evan Fournier, I like Luke Cornett now, and this is like when I was thinking. I'm putting myself in the mindset of where I was at the trade deadline. Not right now, because I would put a B+ with the Mo Wagner, Luke Cornett trade now, but I'm put it at a B just because I saw, they're not bad players, and I think they'll be able to fit in our system really well, because we know Brad Stevens works really well with young players.
He does. He's great. Celtics are great at player development. That's definitely a fact.
So yeah, I mean, overall, I'm gonna rate this a B, and I think we should move on to the games real quick. So I actually only have notes for the Bucks game. I can talk about my live reaction of the Pelicans game last night, because I was absolutely atrocious. I watched the whole thing, and I was just so bored because we were just down by 20 by the third quarter. It was not fun. So let's go into the Bucks doubleheader real quick. So just a game recap, the score recap. So the Celtics lost the first game 119 to 121, and then the Celtics won the second game 122 to 114. And my quick notes for this game. If you need to look up some things real quick. The Celtics got out-rebounded both games, so it didn't seem like rebounding was a big problem as we thought. I mean, sometimes it is, but, it seems like, the Celtics, even if we get out-rebounded, it seems that we still pull through. So the first game's notes I had is the Celtics made a big fourth-quarter push and still lost, just because we didn't, I think my opinion, we didn't actually stop the Bucks, like, in the first three quarters. We let them outscore us each quarter, and also the plus-minuses really do show that the Bucks, the plus-minus throughout the game. So, like, it showed really that the Bucks had an overall plus-minus, like, positive till the end of the third quarter, and that's when we decided to heat up and play really well the rest of the game and still get absolutely toasted because they had, like, a 20-point lead by that point. So, I mean, I'm going to break down the whole Bucks game, and then you can give your thoughts on it real quick. But the second game, it looks like we stayed dominant the whole game, and it looked like we were able to play, at their level. And let's see, stayed dominant. And then I think most of our points came from the first and third quarter, so we really just popped off after breaks or right at the beginning of the game and just played consistent the second and fourth quarter. But yeah, and then Giannis. My other note was Giannis was a non-factor of why they won or lost. It was more of Middleton's performance. And if you want to pull that up, because Middleton played really well the first game, scored like 20 plus points. and then he went down like 15, 19 points in the second game. So I think Middleton was that X factor.
The second game was on the 26th, right? Just making sure
I think that was.
Yeah,
Celtics
so
won the second game.
I have the box score up for the second game. Middleton scored 19 points and had a plus-minus of -30.
Yeah. So the point being is that the plus-minus also for the second game was also just generally Celtics positive, especially when we were scoring really well. And the plus-minuses for the Bucks were just nope. No.
Yeah, so plus-minus, I really like to look at plus-minus because it also shows you like a lot of the defense that a player plays that doesn't show up in the stats.
Not stat defense, just overall hustle.
Exactly.
Looking at like how tight did you play against your man? Did you let anyone get beat type of deal?
Exactly, because like it shows you a lot of things that don't come up in the stat sheet. You know, obviously like blocks. We record blocks, okay? But like if someone's a solid defender, they don't get a lot of blocks. It'll come up in the plus-minus. So we see that Marcus Smart had. This is for the second game, by the way. Marcus Smart had a +20 plus-minus. So we already know he's a great defender. All right. I don't think he had a steal and a block. So not stat sheet wise, not a crazy defensive game for him. Yeah. But his plus-minus was 20, and he scored 23 points. So obviously he had a solid night on defense. And everyone else's plus-minuses are in the double digits except for Jason Tatum's for the starters on the Celtics. They're all in double digits. So just looking at that, it seems like a really solid. I didn't watch this game or the other Celtics
Me neither.
game, honestly.
But I like.
It looks like a solid defensive effort from everybody.
Yeah, it is. And I only look at the plus minuses when I can't watch it because that just shows the flow of the game, and that's how I usually judge how well we play. Because you can tell by the flow of the game, like were we just getting beat the whole time, or getting blown out, or was it like a mixture of like what is it, like just terrible defense plus like we're not making our shots. You can just look at the field goal percentages. It looked like overall we shot pretty well. I think the Bucks outshot us in 3-point percentage the first game. I think they shot 47% in the first game, and the Bucks in the second game shot 40% from the three. So actually, funny enough, when you look at this in the field goal percentages, everyone shot really well. Like everyone shot above 40%, like regular field goal and 3-point.
Right.
Like, did you really think this Bucks team's gonna shoot this well throughout the season?
Honestly, no. Okay, because I know that. I mean, just by looking at field goal percentage, obviously we know Giannis doesn't take a whole lot of jumpers.
He made a three though in one of the games.
He made a three.
A three.
A single three. That's his three for the week. But yes. No, so we know he doesn't take a lot of shots from outside the paint. So obviously his field goal percentage is usually pretty high. But like looking at Chris Middleton, he's supposed to be that big second option that they need, and he's supposed to be more of a shooter, than Giannis. I mean, Chris Middleton is really supposed to do a lot of things.
He did. But he did shoot really well.
He's supposed to be a good shooter. So I honestly I take that back. I do think that the Bucks can shoot that well because I know Drew Holiday is also a decent shooter.
I'm just saying, Connaughton has also came out to be really good shooter as well.
Who was it?
Pat Connaughton.
Oh,
he's
that's very
a small,
true.
Unknown guy. If you don't follow the Bucks that well, he's a really good shooter. Funny enough, I'm actually going to talk about the story right now. My friend in high school, Pat Connaughton's his cousin.
Really?
My friend is Pat Connaughton's cousin. So that's why he got
is it second cousin?
No,
or
first cousin.
Really?
He had some He brought in some Blazers gear one day in high school. And I was like, why are you wearing some Blazers gear, dude? You're a Celtics fan. Why are you wearing Blazers gear? I'm like, nah, my cousin Pat Connaughton, he plays for the Blazers. Like, oh, crap. And then next year when he got traded to the Bucks, he came with some Bucks gear. The next year, I'm like, why are you wearing Bucks gear, bro?
So he's just wearing whatever his cousin wears.
Because he gets free gear.
I would be wearing free gear if I got it from them. I don't care what team it is.
Yeah, was it a good cousin who played in the NBA?
Oh, yeah, of course. Dude, if I had a cousin playing in the NBA, I would milk that so hard. As hard as I possibly could.
What, you clout chase with that?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? If I had a family member in the NBA, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, we all know Asians don't make it in the NBA. This is just hypothetical. This is purely hypothetical.
We had Yao Ming, Jeremy Lin.
No one else.
And that's about it.
There's actually a guy fighting off a couple years ago, Zhao Qi, who was a center for the Rockets.
Roy Hachimura. On the Wizards right now, he's playing well.
Like half Asian, half black. All right, he has more black in him than Asian. Let's be honest. Look at him. Does he look like Jeremy Lin? No, he doesn't.
Are you allowed to say that?
I'm Asian. All right, shut the fuck up. I can tell who's Asian and who's not. All right.
That's fair.
I'm gonna say I'm glad that he's part Japanese and he's really deep. I mean, I don't think he's that good, but
he's had a good stretch. He had a good stretch of games these past couple. I think Westbrook has actually helped him a lot.
Yes. And also, not to mention, I'm also saying, at least I'm happy that he's like representing his culture. Like he knows he's Japanese and likes to preach that, and he likes to like show off his culture. But when I see that, I'm like, I mean, like Jeremy Lin's one thing, and then you see Rai Hachimura do that. Like, does that put like the same kind of message? No, kind of deal for me. So.
Well, I mean, it's tough to compete with Jeremy Lin because he just had like I think like it was like 8 or 10 game stretch of just literally being like the most famous person in the world.
No, it was one season on the Knicks. No, actually,
I don't even think it was a full season.
It was half the season when Melo got injured.
Yeah, exactly. So he came out. Jeremy Lin he obviously played out of his mind, but it's hard to compete with that because he was the most famous person on
Linsanity,
earth.
Baby.
Exactly, Linsanity. I think even like I had a Linsanity shirt, and I didn't care about basketball back then, let alone the Knicks.
Yeah, who cares about the Knicks? All right, we're gonna sidetrack with Jeremy Lin, but yeah, the Bucks game overall just it's a win-loss. Not to mention, we're still under 500 now. What's our record now? I don't even know.
I think it's only by.
Be honest, I don't even keep up anymore because this is just.
It's 22-23.
No, wait, what?
Right now. Oh,
no,
wait.
It's 23-24.
Right, my bad.
Because we won the OKC game and then we lost the Pelicans game. So we're 23-24. So we're under 500 and we're still in the playoff race. Why?
Be happy, because honestly, with the way that you guys have been playing, you're lucky to be in the playoff.
If we were in the Western Conference, we would be like absolutely toasted, like the 15th seed or some crap.
The Western. Also, this year the Western Conference is, I think, even more competitive than it typically is.
I think it's more open.
You think it's more open?
I think it's more open. Like more teams could potentially make it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean when I say competitive. I think there are more teams that are in a position to make it out of the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Then like typically it would be like 1 or 2 teams right now. But I could see the Jazz making a run to the finals. The Lakers not as much. If AD and LeBron can come back,
LeBron should be back for the playoffs, not for the rest of the season. He said
okay.
It's only a high ankle sprain.
So if they do make the playoffs, which I'm pretty sure that they will based on their record now. But so when they come back, you got the Lakers. Phoenix is making a lot of noise now.
Well, they've been making noise, and James has been trying to preach. Actually, he's been preaching that the whole time. I've been seeing it, but we haven't really highlighted that.
But this season they've been playing really well. So I see that the Western Conference is definitely more competitive this year. And I kind of forgot exactly where I was going with this. But
no, just talking about the West. Yeah, the West is just wide open, and I'm just gonna show real quick. Right now, when we're recording this, it's Tuesday, and March Madness is going on.
How much time is left?
There's 14 minutes left, and Gonzaga's up 58-39. It's against USC. So yeah, I mean, we were all praising Gonzaga to win, but yeah, that's just like my quick little March Madness thing. Gonzaga. It's gonna be Gonzaga like Michigan or something like that.
Well, definitely.
Oh yeah, we have a bracket
right now in the final in the Elite Eight. Right now, we have UCLA playing Michigan, Gonzaga playing USC.
This is the live bracket. This
Baylor
is not like a
will be
prediction
playing.
Bracket, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is live. So and then Baylor is also playing Houston in the Final Four.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a solid stretch of games.
I think it's going to be Baylor. Oh, my bracket may be right because I had Gonzaga Baylor going to in the national championship game. So
that's what I have. I have them in the finals. I did have FSU in my Final Four, I believe.
Which was dumb.
Which obviously we all know how that turned out. But
yeah, you really doubted Michigan there. You really did.
I thought FSU. I believed in their defense. Watching them play, I believed in their defense.
I believed in whose defense? I forgot who.
Don't say Ohio State.
No.
No.
No. Oral Roberts' defense was way better than. I forgot who it was, but there's someone's defense I was really confident in. I had them in my Elite Eight, but I was like, nope, they didn't make it. I forgot.
A lot of upsets this year in like the earliest rounds.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Did we talk about that?
I think we mentioned it last time.
We mentioned it. So yeah, like if hopefully you're following this is actually a really exciting March Madness. And we'll see who wins. Honestly, I think it's going to be a 1v1 seed, but we'll see. Anything could happen.
Mm-hmm. Anything could happen. I mean, and Houston's been playing well, too.
UCLA could make an upset. I don't know. We don't know.
It's gonna be an interesting game. Well, also, but UCLA hasn't even... Oh, right, because they're playing Michigan.
They're playing Michigan tonight.
So I think UCLA is now the only double-digit seed that's left.
Yep.
And they made it all the way to the Sweet 16.
I was hoping Oregon State would win, but we are not. They aren't winning. So... let's actually do we have any let's talk about the Pelicans. Did you watch the Pelicans game or did you take notes on the Pelicans game?
I watched highlights of the Pelicans game. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that was a really sad game as I mentioned earlier. I was starting to lose focus after the third quarter because we absolutely got shafted by every single person on that Pelicans team. Mm-hmm. And Lonzo Ball's not even on the team. Lonzo Ball's not even playing, and we're still getting destroyed.
Yeah, well, that's because Zion had a game and a half. He's been shooting like absurdly well in these last couple games. Like I think it's been like over 70%.
Again, everyone's hyped up last year about Zion. No one cares about him anymore, and he's playing way better. Like I think I mentioned this a couple podcasts ago, but statistically, he is playing better this year than he was last year, and no one's talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because I think that everyone was on the
ball train.
LaMelo Ball, but now that he's injured, I'm still surprised that no one's like drooling over Zion. I mean, I guess it's because he's not a rookie anymore. Yeah, but
you expect him to make a step up from his
exactly,
rookie year.
Which he did. But I think people do need to talk about it because his step up, I think, is like it was like not just a step, it was like a leap.
Yes.
You know, he's playing really, really well. He's leading this Pelicans team, essentially. You know, him and Brandon Ingram are leading this team now.
And I think he's playing a lot more fundamental basketball. He's not making flashy dunks. He's not doing crazy dribble moves. He's just playing smart. That's why he's playing statistically better.
Exactly. And why his
stuttering.
Statistically.
But yeah. Statistically, he's been playing better. So that's
and he's taking good shots, which is why his field goal percentage is so much higher now.
Yeah.
But no, they're leading this team in a really good direction actually.
Also, can we talk about why did Fournier go 0 for 10? Do you have any thoughts on why that could have happened?
Is it
because he's wearing number 94? Because he's wearing like a trash number?
That is weird. I was wondering why he picked that number.
I'm surprised he didn't pick like a 30-something because there's plenty of 30 numbers.
Was he born in 94? Maybe that's why he picked 94.
I don't know. But the point being is that why did he pick 94 when there's plenty of 30, 40 numbers available? Like he may not get 0 like he was on the Magic. But there's plenty of like low numbers that he could have picked that would probably been better for him.
I don't know why. 94, weird. I feel like there's a reason behind it because that's not a number that you just like pick out of your head, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be some kind of reason. And he was not born in 1994. He was born in 1992. So I have no idea why. But for the fact that
no sense.
Yeah, like
the 94
literally, it doesn't
made no
make any
sense. I'm not gonna
that's
lie.
like definitely one of the highest numbers in the NBA right now.
Yes, it is.
But,
which is goofy by tell by the. I mean, he did go 0-10, so I guess that's.
Exactly. So I was just about to bring that back up. So he did go 0 for 10, played 33 minutes. He had 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Yeah. So he had a decent defensive night. Obviously, I think he needs to distribute the ball a little bit more.
And also his plus minus is very misleading. His minus 12, but I think that's all because of his offense was terrible.
Mm-hmm,
so I think his overall defense made him like a net worth like 0 on plus minus.
Yeah. So like I said, I think I've said this like at least 3 times today already, but I don't expect him to continue to be missing all of his shots in a game.
No, he should definitely get up to like 35, 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good estimate?
I think that's what's he shooting right now? So yeah, while he's been on the Magic, he's been shooting pretty close to around 40% on average. His numbers are pretty volatile.
Okay, he was 38% from 3 on the Magic, and he was 53 from 2.
So he's shooting well. So I think that he's definitely going to get, better shot. I didn't exactly see his shot selection, but I think he's going to get better shots. I think he's going to start knocking him down. He's going to start averaging, my guess, would be somewhere in like the 15 to 18 point. He averaged 8. It says he's 18.9 now on the season. That's including the game he scored 0 though. So I think he's like 19.7, I think it was on the Magic. Yeah, 19.7 on the Magic. So I expect him to definitely get up to like a in the teens at least, which I think would just even bring just that much more offense to the table for the Celtics, would just be really good for you guys.
Again, to compensate the lacking of offense somewhere else.
Yeah, a
someone
else, unnamed
player who has my number because my number is number 8. And he has.
Oh, do you guys wear the same number?
Yeah, I used to always love number 8. So like anytime I could wear number 8, I would. Like that, either that or 13.
Why 13? Reason, that's unlucky.
It didn't matter.
Why were you just like screw it? I'll take
it.
Take all this unluckiness.
Does any actually? Funny enough, I'm gonna actually look this up. Does any NFL? And I'm gonna put my mic down. But does any NFL player or NBA player wear number 13? Let me look that up real quick.
Paul George, PG-13.
No wonder why he's trash. But
hey, he had some pandemic Pete moments, but no, he's definitely playing better this season now. Obviously, he had a couple of glaring mistakes.
Wilt Chamberlain wore 13.
I did not know that, actually. That's pretty crazy.
So luck clearly doesn't. The number clearly
doesn't mean anything
jack.
when you score 100 points.
Steve Nash wore 13.
I feel like I should have known that. James would have said that.
James probably has a Steve Nash jersey. You know.
I know for a fact he does. I live with him.
Bam Adebayo. Wait, Bam Adebayo doesn't wear 13, does he? No, he doesn't.
I think he might. Now that you mention it, I think he might.
I think he wears 0.
I don't think anyone on the Heat wears 0.
Really? Bogdanovich wears 13. Oh boy, Quincy Acey, if that means anything. Quincy Acey wears
Bam Adebayo does wear number 13. Quincy Acey?
Yeah, if you remember him from back in like 2015 NBA. Yeah, he was not good, but like I just knew the name from that. Yeah, there's not really anyone else noticeable that I would
Well, clearly the people who do wear 13 are pretty good, because Wilt Chamberlain, say what you will about Paul George, but he was very good.
Yep.
And
James
Bam
Harden.
Adebayo. James Harden.
Wait, you should know this.
I have a James Harden jersey. I don't know why.
This man should
Completely
know this.
brain farted on that. But yeah, so obviously whoever wears number 13 says screw unluckiness.
Yeah.
I'll just
That's exactly me.
drop 30 on
But
your
I
head
think for every
night.
time I wore 13, I shot really terribly, so I don't know if that...
Yeah, so maybe
Actually,
it affects... Maybe
not all the
it's not the
time.
number. Maybe you're just a bad shooter.
Okay, well, so you'll see tomorrow. We're balling tomorrow, and you're going to see how I shoot tomorrow.
That is right.
Well,
Yeah,
also,
we're
I'm playing
playing
Raw
tomorrow.
tomorrow, like my first time balling in like a year with COVID. So we're going to see how that goes, and I'm actually going to... I don't know how I'm going to do. I actually get to pull up my CP3s.
I'll take videos. Don't worry, guys.
Oh, my God, no. By the way, we do have a TikTok now on Sportsman's Podcast. We may put up some of the clips on the TikTok. We might have to.
I checked our TikTok, and so I know the one that you posted of me doing quick maths.
Yes.
My favorite part about that is there's only 4 comments. 2 of them are from our friends from school, and the other 2 are people telling me that I need to sleep more and I looked high while we were doing our last recording.
He wasn't
session.
actually high. Let's be honest. Listen, we don't get strikes.
No,
he was not high.
I was not.
His face just looked super.
That's just how I look. That's
looked
just
like
how
he was
I
on
look
something
on the
that
regular. I just thought it was really funny that our viewers are already saying shit that people have told me my entire life.
Yep.
That I need. It looks like I need to sleep more, and
He needs to
look
put some
high.
Adderall on his face, basically.
Okay, so this may be kind of weird, but I use a face moisturizer with
it.
caffeine in it because I heard that it's supposed to help. Maybe
he's just numb to caffeine.
I don't think it has.
I think he's just numb to caffeine right now. So your caffeine doesn't work for you.
Yeah, maybe I should just start pouring coffee directly into my eyeballs. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, don't do that. We do not endorse throwing coffee in your eyeballs. So let's move on to our 1 minute hot takes, because I knew these 1 minute hot takes were going to take a lot longer than the usual ones. So the first one's about the 2 buyouts that happened. So it's about LaMarcus Aldridge and Andre Drummond. They both got bought out by their respective teams, and now LaMarcus Aldridge is on the Nets and Drummond's on the Lakers. Mm-hmm. What the hell just happened?
I can tell you exactly what happened with Aldridge. Okay. So I already know what's happening. And
he is a Nets fan. Let's hear from the Nets.
This is my theory, which I'm very confident in.
Yes.
So all these older players, right, such as Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge now, are taking veteran minimum contracts.
Yeah.
And playing on the Nets because they are very confident in the fact that the Nets are going to win a ring this year.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
their probability is very high. Let's not confirm it, but their probability
but it's
is very high.
probable, and as a Nets fan, I know it's hard to speak on bias, but looking at just their roster, they have a very good chance of winning a chip this year.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these older guys are coming in and they're taking these minimum contracts just because they want to win a ring.
Can I also preface this with LaMarcus Aldridge has already won rings with the Spurs, right? Didn't he win one with Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard?
I'm pretty sure he has at least 2 rings because he's been there forever.
Yeah, he was on the team with Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and Kawhi Leonard, right? I think he was on when Kawhi Leonard was a rookie. I think when Kawhi Leonard won his Finals MVP, I think he won a ring with them. So that also made me confused because the Celtics were in the running. I know the Heat were in the running for LaMarcus Aldridge, and I would actually prefer LaMarcus Aldridge on the Heat.
Same. No, I really same.
But look where he ended up. This man's team. He ended up with this guy. And it really does piss me off as a Celtics fan or anybody who is not a Nets fan.
According to this website, he actually doesn't have any rings. So I feel like we should feel stupid.
That's cap. He should.
I thought he did as well.
I am 90% sure he won a. Okay, I'm pretty sure 90% sure he won a ring with what the hell, the Spurs.
Yeah, I thought he did as well. But anyways, as a Nets fan, I don't dislike it, but I'm also not like, jumping for joy over it, just because I don't see, like, his production, he's fallen off in the past couple years because he's 35 now. He's old, so his production has kind of taken a back seat. He's well past his prime. He's a big guy, and he's not a great defender, and he can't shoot that well, so already he's kind of a liability on the floor. I think, at least on the current Nets squad.
Yeah.
And I also he just doesn't have like the skill set for the modern NBA. You know what I mean? Like, whether you like what the NBA is now, whether you like it or not, I don't think he has the skill set for it. He can't shoot, he can't stretch the floor, and he's not a good rim protector. So as a big man at 6'11", you have to do at least one of those things.
It's funny enough that he used to be able to do all of those when he was younger.
Exactly, but now he's well past his prime. He's 35 years old.
And also stretching the floor back then was like shooting deep twos and running back after you're shooting a deep two, not shooting threes.
Exactly. So now I just
NBA.
don't see his skill set really transferring that well. I could be wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But right now, just on paper, looking at it, I think he's actually supposed to play tonight.
Which we'll see how he does after, because we're probably going to watch March Madness and not watch any NBA games tonight.
I do not want to watch the NBA tonight. I want to watch March Madness.
Yeah. I especially want to see if UCLA can upset Michigan. That's the thing.
I think that'll be a good one.
Let's get back to the Marcus Aldridge thing. He was good back then, and I think these older guys, like, if you look at Blake Griffin's stats now, I'm actually going to pull them up real quick because it's kind of fun. It's kind of goofy, his stats. Everyone was like, oh my God, Blake Griffin with the Nets. He's going to pop off and like be Lob City Blake. Like, no,
exactly. He's not going to be Lob City. But he has been playing pretty well for us. And he had his first dunk in 2 years or like a year and a half or something.
Yeah, like everyone's creaming their pants over Blake Griffin dunking.
Exactly. So it was pretty nice. I know a lot of people are saying that on Instagram that Blake Griffin dunks that they want to investigate. They want to investigate the NBA to see. They're thinking like maybe there's some like conspiracy to get all these old guys on the Nets. I'm telling you, man.
No, okay. He's averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds. Yeah, since he's been like around that since he's been.
So he's a bench player for us. We already knew that.
And
or at least I was very confident.
Aldridge is going to be the same way because he's not going to be able to pull away shots from the big three.
So Nash has said that there's a possibility of Aldridge starting.
Small ball 5 maybe?
Well, he's 6'11". So
Oh.
Yeah, no. Aldridge is a big guy.
So what are your thoughts on that? What do you think they're going to do?
I don't know, dude. It's really weird because I know we have DJ starting now, and he's pretty mediocre, I'm not going to lie. He can catch the lobs that
Again, another old guy.
Another old guy, but he's been there for a while.
He's been there,
for a couple years. But
wait, Lob City's reuniting. They just need to trade for Chris Paul.
Let's get Chris Paul.
Trade Kyrie to the Suns for Chris Paul.
No shot. No shot.
Yeah.
We could not afford Chris Paul. Yep. He's definitely more expensive than Kyrie.
Yeah, he's like $44 million or something like that.
Yeah, that like insane. We can't afford that. But no, I want to see Claxton start. I really like Claxton. I know he's like obviously not the best right now.
He's like the Robert Williams of the Nets.
Exactly. He's young. He needs more minutes, and I swear to God, he's gonna.
Steve
pop
Nash
off.
is not a good developer though.
Well, he was on the player development staff for the Warriors. So
I'm thinking, that's guards though. I don't think he developed any big men when he was there. Like, he might have developed Draymond.
Probably not.
Draymond maybe.
Yeah, but Draymond is like such a different player in terms of like his skill set that it's like hard to even compare. But
you're right. He even worked with them, but
yeah, we don't even know. I know he worked with KD because they're pretty friendly, but I don't know what's going to happen with that in terms of Aldridge starting versus somebody else. I think that they're probably going to keep DJ for a little bit, and if Aldridge can come back and show production, then maybe he'll start. But my concern is I'm not exactly sure how athletic he still is, because I know DJ is 32 now and Aldridge is 35. So I know DJ's picking up those lobs that Harden likes to throw.
Yep.
So I'm just skeptical as to whether or not, how well Aldridge is going to be able to catch that and work with the pick and roll.
I think he's going to just be more of just a traditional big man, play that type of role. I don't think he's going to be DJ type.
No, definitely not. I don't think so. And he is a traditional big man. He's like one of the more traditional players in the NBA now, especially.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I don't know if his skill set's going to transfer really, especially like on the Nets squad, the system that they have going now. Which is
all
pretty
offense.
much exactly all offense, zero defense, which I mean on paper would work for him because he's not a great defender.
Yeah.
However,
you're just adding fire to the fuel to the flame of terrible defense, and that's just not going to end.
Exactly, and I don't think we should even worry about that. And honestly, like when I first saw that he signed with the Nets, I was like, why?
Exactly.
I was like, why?
You know who needs him? The Heat, who need more veteran.
I think the Heat would have
championship leadership.
Exactly. No, I really think that the Heat would have benefited from Aldridge. Just his presence, even just like the locker room presence.
Yeah.
Because he is a veterin. He has like
he's been to the playoffs for how many years because of Popovich?
Yeah, his entire career essentially. So yeah, it's definitely not his whole career. My bad. But like half of his a good chunk of his career, he's played on San Antonio.
Yeah, because he was in Portland his few first years because he got drafted there. But yeah, let's move on to Drummond. Again, the question is, does it even matter that Andre Drummond got signed with the Lakers?
So I think Drummond's going to have more of an impact on the Lakers than Aldridge will have on the Nets.
Didn't JaVale McGee also go to the Lakers? Wait.
But he's on the Nuggets now.
Oh, he's on the Nuggets. That's who it was. Yeah, he got signed to the Nuggets. Yeah. Never mind. Is
that back to the Nuggets for him?
He's back to the Nuggets.
So he has been on the Nuggets.
Remember
before.
all the Shaq and the Fool, JaVale McGee.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
On Shaq. No, wait. Was his Shaq and a Fool like his prime Shaq and a Fool moments?
Nuggets.
Was that him on the Nuggets or on the Wizards?
Nuggets.
Because I know he had some good ones on the Wizards.
Yeah, good one on the Wizards, but mainly on the Nuggets. But yeah, let's get back to Drummond. First, I'm actually gonna give my first thoughts because I actually have an interesting take on this.
Yeah, I feel like I've been talking a lot more than you have.
I think this is not gonna turn out well. Just because he is a very slow guy, and I think the Lakers are trying to play more stretch type, like not stretch, but like space the floor, be able to play better like that because they have a lot of guys like KCP who can stretch the floor. THT's been playing really well. Mm-hmm. LeBron is really quick and athletic, so he's able to stretch the floor. Same with AD. AD's able to take those deep twos, play good defense on whenever offense. Mm-hmm. And I mean that lineup seems really slow, and just like having Drummond seems like a liability. Like he can rebound really well, but I think he's going to be a liability for them. Mm-hmm. And he's not. I can't really put it into words, but I don't think he's going to like play really well in the Lakers system unless they somehow play more like a slow type of defense, a slow type of offense, which might benefit LeBron. I don't know. They don't really have too many shot creators that I can see.
I think they want to run like a quicker offense, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm also skeptical about Drummond. However, like I said, I think he's going to work out better than Aldridge will on the Nets.
I can agree with that.
So Drummond is, obviously a great rebounder, one of the best in the league, if not the best.
Yes.
So a great rebounder. He is a poor defender. However, in my notes here, I said that he's not a good defender, but they also have AD and LeBron. And they're both, obviously AD is a better defender than LeBron is now because LeBron is older and a little bit slower. However, he's still a good defender, and AD is a runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Yes.
So, once those two are back, I think that the defensive liability that Drummond brings in is going to kind of be diminished a little bit.
Especially if AD's playing the 4 with him, because I think AD's traditionally a 4.
Yeah, no, he is. AD is a little bit small to be playing the 5. He's like 6'10", so like small. Yeah. But so I think Drummond's going to be playing the 5, but I think it could work out because he's going to pick up like 15 boards a night. No problems. Is he going to score? Probably not.
I mean, he did average 17 points on the Cavaliers, though.
Exactly. Well, that's
think
what
about
I'm
it.
saying,
that's before Jared Allen came, so that's also another thing.
And
he was fighting.
Exactly, and he was also like more of a centerpiece to that offense, as opposed to now he is pretty much going to be a role player.
Fourth fiddle, fifth fiddle to even KCP, if you even want to put him in. You can even put THT in front of him offensively. So
yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting, I think, for him. But so he averaged 17.5 points this season while he's been on the Cavs. So
Yep.
he is a pretty good scorer when he gets those shots. Now it's a matter of are people
If
gonna
he even gonna get those shots,
if
now
he's
with
even
LeBron,
gonna get the shots, if
KCP.
people are gonna hit him in his spots. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be different.
I
for
think he's
him.
just gonna be a pure rebounder and just be completely useless otherwise. Like he's gonna
I
get
know,
a
I
rebound.
agree.
No, he's gonna be on offense. He's gonna be on offense. Tries to get a rebound. He somehow misses it. Everyone runs down the floor. He's gonna be like,
Yeah, he'll be like in slow motion.
They're playing basically 5v4 on defense with Alderidge and Drummond on the court. So
Yeah.
that's like just my take of it. And I don't like Drummond. Honestly, he got overpaid. I don't know why he got paid that much money on the Pistons, but he did.
He's a weird player, a weird situation, because he
He
does one thing
Really well.
like better than anyone.
Yeah. Well,
But-
debatably, Clint Capella is better, but that's
Right.
another debate
But
for
yeah,
another day.
we'll talk about that a different time. But one of the best rebounders in the league. Everything else is not great, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when he was on the Cavs, yeah, he got 17.5 points, and he shot the ball well. But also, you know, I don't have his stats up now exactly, but I bet you he didn't take, like, any threes.
No.
Probably no shots outside
Well,
the
if he
paint
took
to
a
begin
three,
with.
it would be like 10 feet short, and it would just go nowhere.
Yeah, and
it
his
would go
coach would probably smack him upside the head and be like, "Don't
even if
do
his coach,
that
if his
ever
coach
again."
can't even reach his head because he's like 7 foot. But you know
Yeah,
what?
he's a big guy.
Point being, I don't think he's gonna do well. I don't know what you're. I mean, it seems
Well-
like you think you have more hopes for Drummond.
I do have a little bit of hope for him, only because you said he's going to be a pure rebounder, and I agree with that. But that's why I think he's going to fit in a little bit better.
Okay.
You know,
I
'cause
mean,
he's not gonna-
I don't think the Lakers have been lacking rebounding.
I don't think they're lacking in rebounding either. I just think that this is going to help them.
It's gonna benefit.
You know,
Yeah.
because this was a pickup. This was a waiver wire pickup for them essentially.
Yeah,
you
same
know,
with-
like they
same
didn't
with-
have
same with
to
LaMarcus
trade
Aldridge.
exactly. They didn't have to trade anyone away, so they still have the roster. You know
Yeah.
that they like and that they're working with, disregarding the fact that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are out. But yeah, dude, I think he could just pick up like 15 boards a game, and then that's gonna be it. Like,
sip his
he
tea on the bench,
earns
sip his
money.
Powerade on the bench, and just be okay. Take it 20 minutes a night.
Exactly. I think he's gonna get about 20 minutes a night. I think that's
Yeah,
a solid,
I just kind of
guess.
threw that out there, but I actually think about it now. Yeah, 20 minutes sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's really it for the 1 minute hot takes. I mean, I just wanted to talk about LaMarcus Aldridge and Drummond because everyone's overreacting, like, oh my god, this makes the Lakers and the Nets a super team. I'm like, no. Honestly, people are overreacting over this, and that's
The Nets were already
good.
a
They were already a
team.
super team, and they added Blake and they added LaMarcus Aldridge, which makes it's like adding. I'm trying to think of the word. Like I'm trying to think of an analogy. So it's like like you're making an igloo, and you add a flag. You add like a fucking flag on the top of the igloo, and that's LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin to the igloo.
And it's just like a
Is it
little
good?
like
Yeah,
there
it's a
you go.
little decoration. Like it's
Exactly.
an extra piece.
Why'd you pick an igloo?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
No, okay. It's like you have the castle.
Oh, yeah, the castle, that's
you have
what
the
it is.
castle. I don't know why you picked igloo, but whatever.
Because Jonas smashed igloos like a week ago.
That is true. We did
That's
have an
what
igloo.
I thought of it. But yeah.
But so it's like you have like this castle, okay, and this big like nice castle. You
Moat,
got
you got
everything,
everything.
yeah, the whole 9 yards. And then you stick this little dinky flag on top, and you're like, yeah.
No,
woohoo, a flag.
no. It's the castle, but
You know?
there's all these like cannon defenses. LaMarcus Aldridge and Drummond are the doorman.
Yeah.
They're the guy who let down the gate and
Yeah,
opened the gate.
no,
Their
definitely.
role is so little, but they're just the final piece. Without that piece, you could not open and close the gate. I think that's
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
kind of how I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, but I don't think Aldridge is really gonna have like too big of an impact on the Nets. if
Same
I'm
with the
being
Drummond
completely honest.
on the Lakers, other than his rebounding.
Yeah, well,
They play their
that's
game, and that's
well.
it. They play how they usually play, and that's it for them.
Exactly, and they're both good at the game that they play. You know, like
Yeah.
Drummond, I feel like at this point he has to know that his only serviceable quality is pretty much rebounding. I think he understands that at this
And
point.
being a goofy big man.
You know? Yeah, exactly, and just being like kind of a little bit goofy and like saying dumb stuff too. Also, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's like said some pretty stupid things.
I'll put a clip in there if I find anything, but also if I even remember to put it in there. But I mean, that's really. I mean, unless you have any other comments about that,
No, I mean I am excited to see how they turn out, but
I'm not excited.
I don't think
but
it's gonna
we'll
be.
see what happens.
I think it's gonna be very anticlimactic for how.
It's gonna end up like
at
how
least
Blake ended up.
all the Nets pages that I follow on Instagram overhype everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were like, we got Blake Griffin, like, now we're unstoppable. Like, best team in the league by a far. Like, okay, relax, and then people are saying, like, oh, they're signing, LaMarcus Aldridge now. Like, what does this mean for the NBA? Like, they have all the good players now. Like, how is any other team going to win? Like, bro, just looking at the
play defense against these teams.
Exactly. Play defense against the Nets. And
that's why the Bucks have a good chance of winning. The Heat. Let's do a 1 minute real quick. I think the Bucks and the Heat now have a really good chance. They play really good defense. In the West, I think the Jazz play really good defense, and the Suns play really good defense. And I think those are the teams you have to look out for to beat up those super teams, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I think definitely defense is going to be a big factor for any team that's playing against the Nets. And I brought this up before, and I'll bring it up again. But they're going to outscore you pretty much, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. They're gonna outscore you pretty much. So you have to play defense.
Pick your poison.
Exactly. You have to play good defense, and you kind of just have to like try. You also have to take like one of them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't guard all three of them to the point where it's gonna be serviceable. You have to really like focus on one of them. But I'm kind of digressing a little bit.
Yeah.
And I forgot exactly where I was going with this again.
But
it's. I
think we have an interesting season this year. Hopefully this turns out better for the Celtics. Maybe we'll get some steam. We'll actually peak at the right time during the playoffs. But for right now, we'll see what happens. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of new pieces to fit in. We'll see how it goes in the future.
It's going to be good. Good second half of the season.
I think it will. It's very exciting after all that. I think this is like the most trades that happened in the trade deadline in a while. So
yeah, this is a big one. And you also we were talking about the Heat with LaMarcus Aldridge possibly going to the Heat, and I completely forgot to mention that Victor Oladipo is now on the Heat.
Oh God, no. Okay,
Yeah.
well. You know what? If it comes up later, let's not talk about it. This episode has gone on for too long.
This is getting long.
Too long. But
Pause.
If anything happens with Victor Oladipo, even if we play the Heat, which I don't think we do play him anytime soon, we'll definitely talk about Victor Oladipo because that's actually a big pickup for the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna quickly look at anything recent. No. Let's go to April.
Yeah, no. Victor Oladipo.
We don't play the Heat
really good piece
soon.
For them.
Yeah, we don't play the Heat anytime soon. So. We play them in May. So if it ever comes up, we'll talk about them. For right now, that's it. Unless you got any final closing words.
Nope, I think I've talked too much on this episode.
All right. Hopefully, if we get to do this more, we can. Otherwise, you might see the Zoom again. I don't know. Hopefully, we can get this worked out. Mm-hmm. And
we'll see what happens.
Till next week. Oh, by the way, we do not have a Florida segment. Pro Day, the NFL Pro Day for all the Florida players is actually 31st, which is tomorrow. So you'll probably hear an update next week on how Kyle Trask, Kadarius Toney, and all those guys are doing. But yeah, until next week, boys, I will see y'all. Peace.